Guys, welcome back to Between the Ropes TV. Little bit of a later unplanned video tonight. Now, we knew it was coming with that big Cinco de Mayo weekend. We knew there would be a Canelo Alvarez announcement, but we've got it. May the 7th, he's going to be fighting Dmitry Bivol. And I'm excited for this fight. Now, we look at Canelo. He is the money man. So congratulations to Dmitry Bivol. He's earned it, but your numbers have come in, haven't they? This is the money fight. And, you've got to look at this. There's so many options when you're the main man in the sport. So the PBC, they were pushing Charlo. Top rank, obviously, then you've got Beterbiev, Joe Smith Jr. Obviously, it looks like they're going to fight each other. But, there's so many routes. There was talk about him going up to cruiserweight to fight Alungi Makabu. But he has signed with Matchroom again. Presumably, it will be the 2-fight deal. Hopefully, we'll get to see the Golovkin trilogy September time. But firstly, it's going to be Bivol. Obviously, Bivol is the current WBA light heavyweight champion. And it begs the question, doesn't it? Can Canelo, beat Bivol? And then can he go on and become a 2-weight undisputed world champion? That's the big question. But I'm excited about this. I mean, let's just look at this fight. Dmitry Bivol, we know he's a good boxer. He came over to the UK, so UK fight fans are very well aware of him, and he fought Craig Richards last year. Now, I'm going to be honest, as a fight fan, I wasn't overly impressed with Bivol's performance. It was almost like he got stuck in first gear. And Craig Richards, in fairness, at times, if he'd have put his foot down, I think Craig Richards could have actually beaten Dmitry Bivol. But we know from past performances, Bivol is an operator. He's had the same inactivity issues as many boxers have had. And that's a theme, isn't it, in the pandemic? So you can't really blame the fighters for that. But we know he's skilled. But we know what Canelo brings. And, I'm going to go early doors. I'm going to stick my sort of flag in the hole, if you like. I'm picking Canelo to win this. Can he go on and become undisputed at 175? I don't know. That's a different question. For me, I would go in the current world champions, Beterbiev as top dog, then Bivol, Joe Smith Jr. Obviously, they're going to get their fight on, so that'll answer that question. So potentially in 2 fights' time, 3 fights, I suppose, with the Golovkin fight, depending on what they do with weight classes, Canelo Alvarez could become that 2-weight undisputed world champion. And then surely, guys, we've got to be looking at that as he goes down as one of the best ever. I mean, for me, he'd have to be, he already is really, but he would have to be in the conversation for that at that point. Now, before we get hate in the comments, obviously there's been a lot of talk about other options Canelo had, David Benavidez, he's ducking him. Charlo, he's ducking him. Now, for me, this is the issue with being pound for pound number one. Reality is, he fights twice a year, 3 times a year. He was one of the most active guys through the pandemic, and credit to him. But there's 10 viable names, quite easily off the top of my head, all fights that would make sense. There was the Makabu fight, obviously Bivol, Beterbiev, Joe Smith Jr., Golovkin, Demetrius Andre's been calling him, Charlo. Now, that's just 7, bang, done it. And we could carry on, couldn't we? But if he's only fighting 2 or 3 fights per year, it is a case of get a number and get in line, isn't it? Because he can only fight so many fights. And I'm excited about this fight. So see it from a legacy perspective, guys. Yes, the Charlo fight's great, but the Charlo fight is still going to be there in a year or two's time, let's be honest. So these things are all there. Canelo's talked a lot about legacy, a lot about wanting to go down in history. He's already a 4-weight world champion, and we've been big advocates on this channel, like, light middleweight, super middleweight, and light heavyweight. 154 to 175, that's a seriously impressive range of weight classes to go through. Not knocking it because it's an achievement for anybody, but, when you look at some of the lighter divisions where, there's 4 pounds in between, it's arguably an easier task than what Canelo's done. Seriously impressed with him. Seriously excited about this fight. Let us know in the comment section what you guys think, but I am still predicting a Canelo win, but I do think Bivol's going to give him a real test. So let us know in the comment section what you guys think. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get excited, guys, because we finally got that announcement.